just felt like, well, you know, I have never run like the whole length of Hard Rock, but you know, like when you're pacing, you come into a town like Uray or something, descending like off of these really gnarly mountains into this town, and there I was like descending out of Maine into Gorham, and there was the lights of the dam, and it was like 11 o'clock at night, and there was Greg at the White Mountain Hostel. He was there to kind of like coach me through like taking off my shoes, because like I was totally out of it, and he was just like, you know, take off your shoes, put on these flip-flops, grab some, you know, a change of clothes, you know, leave your stinky gear out here, I'll do your laundry. And he put a pizza in, and I took a hot shower, and like we stayed up and talked, and I was eating this pizza, and it was like, yeah, 11 o'clock at night, and it's just like experiences like that. And then the next morning, Jerry, Greg's wife, she prepared me this, you know, 3-course breakfast, and they would have kept feeding me if I stayed any longer. I mean, they just, you know, they don't do it for the money. They, you know, they do it for the love of the hikers, and that's why I feel, you know, even though it's like a self-supported, it's very much supported, because you meet these trail angels. And,
9 hours.
you know, I mean, yeah, they run a business, but you know, they're there to help the hikers, you know, reach their goals, and they're just full of love, and I felt at home there, and it's just like a really cool trail family, all up and down along the trail, and that's just like one example. So, I mean, that's what helped make New Hampshire a lot easier, was like they just got me charged up. They gave me a pair of hiking poles, you know, like, oh, we don't, you know, we've got an extra pair of hiking poles, and you know, I had those until Massachusetts, until I lost them, or they fell apart. Yeah, I mean, it's really, really pretty cool to have those experiences, and yeah, so New Hampshire and Maine, they were rugged, but we knew they were going to be rugged, so I just kind of took it in stride. Vermont was tough. Vermont was tough and muddy. That's when my feet started going south, and I think that was the first real challenge. So, when the feet went south, and then it was like the first, like, okay, here's a problem, gotta work through this problem, gotta fix the feet. And then it was the energy issues, like losing a lot of weight, and that just kind of, you know, yeah, Brew, you, like up in Vermont when we were hiking together, you suggested eating more. I was just like, yeah, that's what I gotta do, I gotta eat more. And so the question was like, well, okay, how am I gonna do that exactly? Carry more food. That's the problem. You don't want to carry the food that you have to eat. So that's that. You know, that was probably the one thing that was the biggest learning curve for this hike, was figuring out just how much I could get by with. And I mean, I was running a deficit out there, but you want to move as efficiently as possible, and 3,500 calories a day was just not cutting it. And then
That's amazing.
I remember calling my mom and dad in New Jersey, and I just like tanked up. Like, so my approach was always to just eat as much as possible and just carry it in my stomach instead of in my pack. But I ate in Vernon at the Heavenly Hill Farm. They didn't have a very good selection of stuff, and golly, I don't know what I put in me, but I just could hardly move, and I was miserable. And I really thought, like, okay, I was like, I need to induce vomiting, because like this is unpleasant. You know, that flat flat section of trail, and it's just like I can't even move. And so like I call mom and dad, and I'm just like, I feel really bad because I spent like 30 minutes complaining to them, like, oh, I feel so bad.
I can't make it on this flat.
Like, why'd I eat so much? Like, what did I eat? It was like potato salad. I ate like a ton of potato salad. and then like this.
You were making me sick telling me.
Yeah, I mean it was like potato chips and potato
I think
salad.
you said, well, don't lose it.
Yeah, I was like, I gotta hold on. I paid for
Let it turn
it.
into something.
Yeah. Oh man, I think it was a couple of days until I felt normal again. Yeah. But I mean, it was just like it was a great idea at the time because I was like, oh, this is gonna be a lot of calories. You alright? You recognize this place? You've been here before, I think.
Yeah. When Kevin and I started running down the trail earlier, we were like, I hope she turns around with us. We were running north on the trail.
Oh, yeah. So when we hiked in 2007, we started it in South Carolina, but I think she's been to Springer before.
Oh, man.
Where did you
He looks good.
Where did you start in South Carolina?
Oh, just at Caesar's Head.
And then hike to...
yeah, did like some roads and DuPont and Pisgah. Got on the Mountains of Sea Trail and then cut over to Carver's Gap. Yeah, so we bypassed the Smokies and all that.
Good stuff.
So what have you been